Here we go now.
So I shared with you my morning skincare routine. Now I'm sharing my nighttime skincare routine, brought to you by our friends over at Buttah. Over the last several weeks, we've partnered with Buttah and I've been utilizing their skincare routine and I have been loving it. So let me share with you my nighttime skincare routine. It's very simple and it's made even simpler by our friends over at Buttah. First, I start off with their cleanser. Wash your face with their cleanser. Then I use their silky soft towel, which I love. I love. They're disposable. They are quality. You shouldn't be using the same towel that you use to dry your body on your face. And then I'm using their retinol. People don't understand the benefits of retinol. Smaller pores, youthful skin. A lot of people don't even utilize this. You should. All you need next is their Cocoa Shea Moisturizer. As I've said before, they've made my routine a lot simpler because I've had to use a different morning moisturizer versus what I use at night. With their Cocoa Shea Moisturizer, I can utilize it for my morning and my evening. I just put a little bit less on in the morning. At night, I put a little bit more. And that's it for my nighttime routine. One of the other big questions that people have asked me, is there a scent in the moisturizer? Very light scent. The other question people have asked me, is Buttah Black owned? Not only is it Black owned, their president is a Black woman. But of course, you also ask, can we get a discount? Of course, get 10% off when you use my link, buttahskin.com/Kempire. More information on Buttah will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah. Oh, I'm too busy producing. Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me, and do all the things. Shout out to Buttah. Skincare today is brought to you by our friends over at Buttah. Go get your 10% off today. More information, again, will be available in the description. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. I was making sure everything was working. Good evening, good evening. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you guys had a fabulous day, and I hope you guys were able to watch our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap earlier today. Be sure to check that out. I still have to release the audio version. Make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast. And I still need to recap episode 6 of The White Lotus for our Club Kempire Baddies. That's our new Apple podcast subscription. So be sure to check that out as well. Thank you, Bella. Bella says, looking good and sounding great. Yeah. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, guys. Don't forget to let me know where you're watching from as well. I always want to know where you guys are watching. We are broadcasting live from New York City. All right, where do I want to begin? Let me begin with Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we've been telling you about Real Housewives of Atlanta and the difference in ratings over the years. I just want to preface this by saying this. We want Atlanta to do well, but at the same time, we can't just say a show is doing well because it's a Black show. We still deserve quality television. We still deserve quality reality television. Just keep that in mind because everyone's like, oh, why are we always talking negative about Black shows? If there's something wrong with a Black show, we're going to talk about it because that is our right. Okay? Okay. All right. So, as you know, we've been doing our Hot Topics Lunch Hour, and we reported episode 1 and 2, so a decline in the demo. And of course, all across the board, when it comes to Bravo shows, when it comes to reality television, we are seeing a decline because more people are watching things on streaming, Peacock, things like that. Peacock's prices just went up again. All the prices are going up. Egg prices are going up, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. I've heard from multiple sources that Bravo is concerned. Despite what they're putting out there and what they want people of the show to say and what they want bloggers to say and blogs to say, I'm hearing that they are concerned. They are concerned. Specifically, I'm not surprised that they're concerned because you're seeing a decline in the demo. It's one thing to see the live ratings. Everyone knows live ratings, that's the night of. A lot of people don't watch the night of. It's a Sunday night. People are getting ready for work, school. There's a lot of things on Sunday nights, 90 Day Fiancé, all these other shows to watch. March Madness is happening. So that's understandable that we'll see a decline in live ratings. Bravo looks at a few different things. Live ratings, they look at social media. They also look at streaming. Follow me. Let me just remind you, when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 1, shout out to our friends over at TVDs, because you know what we do here, we cite our sources, unlike some of y'all. That was not shade towards anyone. Well, maybe. I'm no one in particular, but I just know there are people apparently using my content and not citing the source. What's that about? Okay. All right. So let me just break down for you what we're seeing, okay? Let me just bring up week 1's ratings, okay? So shout out to TV Deeds. They reported this back in March 12th, okay? So RHOA, matter of fact, hold on. Before I even pull that up, I want to pull up, let me just pull up one other thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to this story. So please hold and thank you, okay? And hold on. Let me just make sure I pull up what I want to pull up. Yeah, please. Oh, actually, if I go to my text message, and while I'm doing this, guys, be sure to like the video. Just when I think I'm fully prepared, I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot one thing that I wanted to add. There was one thing that I wanted to add. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let me just find where I wanted this story from. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me just make sure I had that pulled up. So what you're seeing on my screen, for those that are watching us on YouTube, those that are watching on TikTok, you can watch us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all the places right now, okay? All right. So these are the ratings for the first week. So they had 723,000 live viewers on the premiere episode. It's actually not bad when you look at across the board when it comes to Real Housewives, okay? This is not bad. So y'all can see my face, okay? So they also reported, though, the demo was 0.18. You know, that's the ages between 18 and 49 is the ideal when it comes to advertisers. So TV Deets at the time reported that this was a series low, not season low. In the history of Real Housewives of Atlanta, this was a series low in their demographic. And I said, that's concerning. I was like, okay, I was concerned. It's one thing about a decline, and you'll see that. You'll see people reporting, oh, there's a decline in viewers in comparison to what, they saw in the early years of Atlanta. But again, that was before streaming. Okay? But the demo had me a little concerned. Fine. Then week 2, this really had me concerned. Week 2, okay, they had 672,000 viewers, which from 723,000, I think people wanted to see, okay, what is this going to be about? But this is quite a drop to the second week's episode, 672,000 live viewers. Again, keep in mind, people are watching on streaming more so than they've done before. But we also see a new series low in their demo in the second week. All right, so the first week, hold on. So the first week we see here, they had a 0.18 demo, which was a series low. That was the premiere episode. Second week, we have a 0.16. Now it's a new series low in their demo. So this is 0.16. The premiere episode, 0.18. All right. So this week, the new ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta's third episode came out. And now they're in between. So this is not a series low for their demo. But it does say a series low in viewers. Again, it's a new age when it comes to live viewership. People are not necessarily watching things live. People watching things on DVR. But Bravo does look at the third day ratings and things like that. And they're also looking at streaming. But here's the thing with streaming that I hate is that it's not like live ratings. We don't know what those numbers are unless Bravo or Peacock decides to tell us what those numbers are. And I always tell you, we talk about this all the time. They're very convenient when they want to release the ratings for streaming. And they always do it strategically. You saw it when people start talking about, oh, people are not watching this show or this series. Then all of a sudden you see everyone posting, oh, this is the best year actually for this particular series. They said the same thing about the last season of Real Housewives of New Jersey, but you see where we're at with that. Look, you know that meme with Dolores. Okay, so we see week 1 there was a series low. Week 2 in their demo. Week 2 we see a series low in their demo. Week 3, which was this past Sunday's episode, we didn't see a series low in their demo, but we do see a series low in their viewers. And a lot of people are saying that this is sort of the backlash of Team Twirl. As you know, Kenya Moore, you do see Kenya, but you don't see Kenya during the season. It's definitely a decline in what we could be getting from Kenya. You're not getting confessionals. You're not getting you're not getting Kenya's personal story. Fine. And I said, I think Bravo might regret not doing all of that. Okay. And it looks like Kenya will be more than willing. And now there's still a big debate whether or not Kenya will be at the reunion. If Kenya's not at the reunion, I think that might be the kibosh, or the nail in the coffin for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because you can't have her be a part of the season in this way and then have this big incident happen and have her not be a part. One thing I did want to mention to you guys was the fact that Real Housewives of Atlanta will be having an after show. Cynthia Bailey on her podcast with Crystal Kung Minkoff confirmed this week. Take a look.
And now we do after shows now too.
And after shows.
I don't think, were they doing that
Yeah,
when you were
I did after shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I did after shows.
I'm getting ready to start after shows for Atlanta, which I'll probably have to explain.
Okay, let's talk about after shows. Oh my God, this will be
And now we do after shows now too.
And after shows.
I don't think, were they doing that
Yeah,
when you were
I did after shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I did after shows.
I'm getting ready to start after shows for Atlanta, which I'll probably have to explain.
Okay, let's talk about after shows. Oh my God, this will be
So that might be good news for some people. Some people are now thinking, well, now this could be an opportunity for Kenya to be a part of the show. I don't know. I don't know if that will make sense at this particular point, but some people might say, well, if we're not going to get confessionals, this might be an opportunity for her to do something, okay? To explain her side of things. We shall see. We shall see, because they have not started filming the after shows just yet. I will say, I do believe that they regret not in some shape or form including Kenya a little bit more, or just not including Kenya at all. Because remember, all of this stuff went down at the top of the season. And I told you I was a little concerned that if they decided to keep it in, yes, it was a big social media backlash on it. But I was like, okay, but if you have so much happening this season, why keep it in? It happened at the top of the season. Why keep it? Why do you have to get Phaedra at the last 2 weeks of the season if the season is so great? Why? I'm asking legitimate questions. I'm not being shady. I'm like, if the season is so good, why would you need Phaedra at the end of the season? Maybe we'll see. Maybe she adds a little something. Devin says that not including her in the confessionals is stupid. Maybe they will right the wrong based off of the ratings decline in the after show. We shall see. Kenya did a whole press tour promoting her book with her daughter Brooklyn, and talked about what she did and took her own ownership of that. And she said that she's in a good space with the network, according to her, and that she does text with Andy. Andy did confirm that they've been speaking. So maybe this will be Kenya's opportunity, at least when it comes to what's supposed to go down at the Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Bootsy says that Kenya was removed prematurely. Maybe. But I think we'll have more clarity this week in this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, which might be their biggest. I think we will see an uptick in viewership and the demo, especially if what people want to know what exactly went down between Kenya and Britt. I've told you during my recaps, some of what we're seeing of Britt and her constant talking about Kenya is not making sense based off the edit. Again, we're watching an edited show, but it's not making sense. It's like, girl, you seem to be like, Kenya made a shady remark, okay, at that party, at Chamia's party. But I was like, was that warranted for you to keep talking about it in every scene since? I felt like that was doing a lot, which says to me maybe more happened and they are not showing it beforehand. But right now, it's not making sense to me. Like, these numbers aren't making sense. But I told you, if you looked at the title, I said, Bravo, allegedly, are concerned about the ratings, no matter what they want to do, because I knew, I was sort of like a countdown in my head, metaphoric countdown in my head. I was like, Bravo's going to be like, via some sort of press outlet, is going to come out and say, oh, but the streaming numbers are record breaking. We've seen them do that. I always try to use my platform to let you guys know, let's not start falling for the okie doke of what they do with the press. They've been doing this since the beginning of time when it comes to trying to manipulate the audience. Okay? But I also try to tell you, like, well, keep in mind, live viewership is not what they rely on as much as they used to. However, we're also not going to fall for the okie doke. All right, so our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk did a story this week in regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta's ratings, because multiple sources and multiple platforms like TV Deeds were saying, look, the ratings are not rating right now. TV Deeds is even in the comment section of this report putting source ? Thank you, TikTok. Thank you so much, Victor, for the heart puffs. Thank you. Guys, keep tapping your screens. And for those that are here on YouTube, be sure to like the video. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter as well. So shout out to our friends over at TV Deeds. So they wrote this article the other day. Okay, not the other day, yesterday or something like that. All right, so they wrote this in regards to the ratings. They said, neighbors, get into this. The numbers are in for Real Housewives of Atlanta, and the fans are loving it. They said the fans are loving it. Mind you, it's a short article. And look, these blogs have relationships with these networks, and I wouldn't be surprised if the network was like, here are the numbers. Can you do a report for us? We'll pay you about, whatever. Just saying. Okay. So according to the Neighborhood Talk, they wrote, with 7 days of multi-platform viewing, the season 16 premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta garnered over 2.5 million total viewers. This is on track to match the season 15 premiere, and it's also seeing impressive gains on Peacock, with viewership up 18% season over season. They said the premiere episode now ranks as the second most watched Housewives season premiere in Peacock history. The series continues to rank as one of the top series on cable among Black audiences. We love to see it, they said. And as I said to you before, our friends over at TV Deeds, where we got a lot of our TV ratings, our live TV ratings, they posted in the comment section, they said, source? Source? Where'd you get this from? Cite your source. Bravo? Okay, Bravo maybe? All right. But I wouldn't be surprised that people are curious about the new season, because there's a bunch of newbies. I think even the people that say that they're not going to watch, I believe that they still watch the season premiere. Yeah. Shane says they do this every franchise. I'm over it. Well, they do it conveniently for certain. I think when they're getting bad press, that's when they do it, because that has been the speculation. Well, shout out to our friends over at rhobh.com. They wrote this article yesterday in regards to the ratings decline. They wrote this. It looks like Bravo is in full damage control mode when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta's ratings, but the numbers tell the real story. Following the all-time series low for the season 16 premiere, the ratings for episode 2 have now dropped even further, pulling in 672,000 viewers with a 0.16 demo rating, for the ages between 18 and 49, marking yet another series low in the key demo. The first episode had the series low in demo. The second episode had the new series low in demo. This week, it fell in between there. In between the two series lows. So after reports highlighted the steep decline in live viewership, Bravo attempted to reframe the narrative, emphasizing delayed viewing and Peacock streaming in an effort to paint a more positive picture. While it's true that the streaming numbers have seen some growth, it doesn't erase the fact that Real Housewives of Atlanta's live audience is rapidly vanishing. For years, RHOA was Bravo's flagship Housewives franchise, consistently delivering powerhouse ratings. But these numbers suggest that even longtime fans aren't tuning in like they used to. The days of RHOA dominating Sunday nights seems to be over, and no amount of spin can change the reality that viewership is continuing to decline week after week. Look. With major cast changes and a season already met with lukewarm reception, the real question is, how much lower can the show go before Bravo steps in? Because at this rate, the biggest drama isn't happening on screen, it's in the ratings. Damn. Look. The season 16 premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta failed to make a strong first impression, delivering the lowest rated season premiere in franchise history in the key demographic. Airing on Sunday, the warmly anticipated premiere pulled in 723,000 total viewers and scored a 0.18 rating in the coveted 18 to 49 demo, a sharp decline compared to past seasons. For a franchise that once dominated Bravo's reality TV lineup, these numbers signal a concerning trend, especially at the network's attempt to revamp the show following a rocky season 15. As LoveBeScott.com first reported, Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 brings a major cast shakeup, with Portia Williams returning and Cynthia Bailey rejoining an enhanced, quote, friend of the show following Kenya Moore's controversial return and abrupt departure. They're joined by newcomers Brittany Eady, Kelly Farrell, and Angela Oakley, alongside the sole returning full-time housewife from last season, Drew Sidora. When fan favorite Kandi Burruss, who had been a mainstay for 14 seasons, officially exited the series, some longtime viewers were left questioning the show's direction. Despite the fresh lineup and Bravo's attempt to reinvigorate the series, the lackluster premiere rating suggests that the audiences may be still on the fence about this new era of RHOA. While the premiere numbers are concerning, it's still early in the season. The Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise has seen mid-season rebounds before, especially if the drama intensifies and word of mouth brings back viewers. Social media buzz and future episodes could still turn things around, but Bravo will need to keep audiences engaged if they want RHOA to remain a staple in their reality TV empire. Okay, Denver, write this article. Will season 16 be able to recapture the magic, or are these ratings a sign that RHOA is losing its grip? Only time will tell. Jazz the Guru asked the question, what happened to Phaedra coming back to RHOA? I thought she was supposed to return. She does, the last 2 weeks. So we probably won't see her until their cast trip, which is towards the end of the season, which is why I said I think it's concerning that the season wasn't that great, because I feel like if the season was great and they had the content that they needed, why bring in Phaedra at the end of the season? Some might say, well, because people wanted to see Phaedra return and this was a great opportunity. Phaedra returning does not come cheap. So it makes me wonder if the season is actually going to bring it. And I don't believe, I saw Cynthia on her podcast, we have a really good season. It's very unpredictable. I don't believe anything that these Bravo people say. I don't believe what the blogs that are bought and paid by Bravo say. All right? I'm looking at the numbers, okay? Not Bravo's pretend numbers that they love to put out there. But we shall see. Again, it's only episode 3. Am I still engaged? But yes, I'm engaged, but I'm not excited so far. But we shall see. We shall see. All right. What was there anything else that I wanted to say about these numbers? No. Let's move on. Okay. But before we move on, today's live is also brought to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. And on a busy day like today, Factor Meals makes it so easy for those of you with a busy schedule, busy lifestyle, and just a lot going on, where you can get healthy meals, quality meals in just 2 minutes. Okay? So Factor says that ready to optimize your nutrition this year, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. So you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active or busy lifestyle. What I love about Factor is that you have 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week. It's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Anyone else a picky eater? I am. So they have something for everyone. And of course, we've got you a discount. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Kempire50off and use code Kempire50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com/Kempire50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information will be available in the description. And if you're watching on TikTok, or if you're watching on Twitch or Twitter, head on over to our YouTube channel and check out the description of this video so you can get your discount as well. All right. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring our impromptu live today. Okay. I am going to drop the call-in link. We'll take some callers, but I'm dropping the call-in link first for our members before we get into the Bozoma St. John of it all. Okay? Because I really was just going to go live and talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then I saw this story and I said, oh, shoot. I think she miscalculated, everyone. I really think Bozoma miscalculated. I think she thought that this was going to be the way. And maybe this is the way she's done things in corporate America, and it's just, maybe she overplayed her hand. Maybe. But I think based off of the callers today, a lot of people did not like her appearance on Watch What Happens Live and how she was sort of shucking and jiving and not correcting Erica with some of the things that Erica said during this appearance. But before we do that, let me just drop this for our members, and I'm going to show you a clip of what I'm referring to. And then we need to take a look at Bozoma's Instagram account, because she just posted a few hours ago some photos and memories from her trip here in New York City to Watch What Happens Live. Thank you guys so much for everything on TikTok. We appreciate that. All right. Let me just drop this first. Okay. So if you missed it, we did post a video yesterday. I've posted so many different things. A video yesterday breaking down the tea that I heard of what went down at the reunion, explaining why Garcelle Beauvais decided not to return for another season. Apparently, word on the street, homegirl quit at the reunion. The reunion trailer then dropped a few hours later, where you see Garcelle say, F this, I'm leaving. And she was not there for the group photo at the end. During Watch What Happens Live, Erica Jane and Bozoma St. John were asked about Garcelle leaving. Their reaction was pretty interesting. And I think that is part of what has gotten everyone like, what is going on? Like this is weird. She's been there for 5 seasons. Yes, you guys have your issues, but your reaction is strange. And look, you know what I hate about this situation with Garcelle leaving? It feels as if she was pushed out. Yes, it was her decision. She did not have to leave. Bravo wanted her to stay. People love Garcelle. If this is not a perfect example of how much a beloved Garcelle is by the Bravo universe, for the most part, well, by people, I'm going to say, because the Bravo universe can be a lot of racists in it too. And that's part of the reason why it probably was an easy decision for Garcelle to be like, yeah, deuces. Because of the vitriol that she's had to deal with since being on this show. People are still bothered that she's called out some of the microaggressions from this group. It's like people want the people that were uncomfortable with Garcelle calling out the microaggressions that she experienced in this group are the same people that say, I don't see color. Yes, you too, son. Are the same people that be like, racism is over. Those are those same people. And if 2025 hasn't shown you that racism isn't over, I don't know what to tell you. You can live in your ignorance, but you can't live over here. All right. So I think it was this part, because a lot of you, when you called in earlier today, that highlighted the fact that Bozoma did not correct Erica Jane when she tried to downplay Garcelle buying a beach house while she's renting her home. I think was the last straw for a lot of people. But as you know, if you've been watching our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recaps, we've been talking about some of the interesting behavior that we've noticed from Boz. And then we've been reporting to you that there are people that have been speaking out, people that have worked with her. People, allegedly, I'll say. People that have had things to say about her corporate career over the years. So let me just play this quick clip for you guys, and then we will get into what they're saying on Bozoma St. John's Instagram.
Boring in the trailer.
I did not call her boring. I said, I wish you were more interesting.
Girl, that's semantics.
Listen, in the world I live in, you got to spit it plain.
Halala on Twitter said, have you ever shared your dating life or friendships on camera? I don't recall seeing that.
Hold on,
I'm curious, why call out Garcelle for not being open when you've kept your own personal life pretty private?
My own personal life?
Yeah.
My husband went to jail, honey. I lost my home, my family, everything I own. I'm currently being...
I love how she says this, and we've talked about this endlessly in regards to Erica trying to make it seem what she went through, which was already 2 documentaries. There were multiple reports. There were arrests. A whole law firm shut down. Girl, you couldn't help but have this be talked about. But your friends on this show weren't asking the question. It was Sutton and Garcelle that were asking the questions.
I went to jail, honey. I lost my home, my family, everything I own. I'm currently being sued. I was like in still am, terrible legal jeopardy. Have not shared.
Okay, well.
Let them know.
Okay.
Well,
Ooh, it's true. It's true.
I almost cursed.
Girl, that's what I said.
Okay.
Let them know.
It's the truth.
All right.
You're going to have to do more than buy a beach house in Bakersfield. Okay.
I said.
Okay.
Let them know.
It's the truth.
All right.
You're going to have to do more than buy a beach house in Bakersfield. Okay.
Mind you, that question was not really about Garcelle. And you went on this rant and you then brought it back to be about Garcelle. You're going to have to do more than buy a home in Bakersfield while you're renting your home. This is Garcelle's second home that she has. Second home, she's booked, she's busy. She could actually walk away from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and still have jobs, current jobs. She's got an NBC Universal First Look contract. She's got multiple contracts with Lifetime. She's got a Hulu show and a Netflix show. What do you have that was not bought, including this position on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? The only reason why you're on the show is because of Tom's money that was bought from victims' money, that was stolen from victims' money. So even that's not real. Even that you didn't earn. So everything that comes out of your experience of being on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is because of Tom and him buying you your failed career. Because even with him buying you a career, you still know you're not a notable singer. You're not a notable singer. No one's like, you hear that new Erica Jane song? No. So even with all of the money in the world, he couldn't even buy you a successful music career. Even with all of that. And that's why she's upset. That's why she's so bothered. But what bothered a lot of people was the fact that Bozoma St. John, who has worked, who has created the wealth for herself, she talked about this when she lost her home in the fires. She talked about what she had to do to get that home. Because it's one thing to be friends with someone, but if you're a real ally, if you're a real, pro-Black, like she likes to pretend to be, but according to people that have worked with her, she comes in with that whole allegedly, oh, I'm going to bring the diversity, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you fail to do that. That's exactly the behavior that I'm seeing on this show. So a lot of people were disappointed with all of the sound effects and all of the, all of her behavior on Watch What Happens Live. And I think she thought, aligning herself with the Fox Force flunkies, that she thought that this was going to be her way in. I don't know why she thought that. And look, we know Garcelle has not been perfect on this show. We know that Garcelle sometimes has maybe defended Sutton when she shouldn't defend Sutton. However, I really believe that Garcelle is a genuine, kind human being. I can't say that for a lot of these housewives across this franchise. But I think Bozoma, because she is such a marketing genius, according to her, and maybe she is. Honestly, I feel like some of the moves that she's made, putting herself in a position where there is a large female audience and she has products that females are going to want and a workshop that for women. So that's smart. But you didn't have to take someone down, allegedly, in order to do that. So there's been a lot of backlash. On her Instagram account, she posted quite a few photos. All right. She posted quite a few photos on her Instagram in regards to her appearance on Watch What Happens Live. Let me see if I can pull that up. Please and hold. Okay, let me just pull this up so that we can see it together. And she did, in this post with multiple slides, she did have a message for Garcelle. However, you got to slide through it multiple times. That's the only thing. Hold on one second. Let me just go here so that you guys can see it. Okay. All right. Let me move this up. Hold on, y'all. I just want to Okay, it's just gonna have to be like this. All right. Publish, go live. There we go. All right. So this is a post that she posted about 7 hours ago. So she posted a few different photos and videos from her appearance. Okay. Let me move myself out of the way. Let me go up here so that you guys can see what's happening here. Okay. All right. So she posted this earlier today and she put the caption, "There's an African proverb which says a single bracelet does not jingle. I've taken that saying to heart in this season of filming Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and knowing that the power of the platform comes from the ensemble and not an individual. And yet we can each be different and celebrated for our distinction. It was an honor to be asked to be on Bravo TV on Watch What Happens Live by Andy Cohen on the finale episode of season 14, but it was a hot seat for sure. And believe me, our reunion's even hotter, and there's a whole hell of a lot of jingling. Lord have mercy. So tune in because there's a lot to learn for context on everything." All right. All right. But let's take a look. So these are some of the photos that she posted and videos that she posted. Okay. All right. All right. See, there's multiple photos. Okay, let's keep going. Then on the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We get to the 12th slide before she posts this in regards to Garcelle. The 12th slide. So a lot of people are like, did she delete it? Because sometimes I don't go through that many slides. I might go through the first couple. And if most of these slides were her posing and doing things that Watch What Happens Live. I know for a fact that a lot of people probably missed this completely. Okay. So she did post something about Garcelle and she tagged Garcelle. She says, to Garcelle, for your pioneering bravery and grace in 5 seasons of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, well done. Who does she think she's talking to? Like she thought she's talking to one of her employees. That's what it's sounding like. Yes, the 12th slide. Well done. I wish we had more time together on this platform to continue showing the world that both of us can exist in the same space with different offerings and different opinions and besties, but still find a way to resolve our differences without tearing the world apart. And that we're able to shine bright together and individually too. You are leaving on your terms, and while I'm disappointed by your exit, it is commendable. I'm wishing you even greater success. Onward. With respect, always, Boz. Damage control. Why is this the 12th slide? Why is this not her Instagram story? Well, they were dragging her in the comments, y'all. And look, we do not promote or endorse bullying of any kind. But I will say some of the comments aren't bullying. There's just people sharing their opinions on, girl, it was not a good look. It was not a good look on Watch What Happens Live. So our friends over at TV Deets said this. They said, disappointed with your Watch What Happens Live appearance, but I'm still a fan, hoping for a less toxic season next year. Another person says, why did you sit there silently as Erica downplayed and shaded Garcelle's beach house, which she bought with her own money? Garcelle owns 2 homes. Erica's renting a casita if we want to go there with it. Okay. One of her friends says this in the comment section. Wait, did she? Because I know Boz replied to some of these comments. Her friend, I think this is Kari Champion or something like that. Yo, I think context is needed, and I wish there was a behind-the-scenes camera on at all times. I'll be racing to the comment section after the reunion show. Well, I wish you luck with that. I wish you luck. Because we're not basing everything about Boz off of what we've seen on the show, even though that is enough. We've seen a lot. The after show, what we've seen on the show, we're like, you're moving funny. But then when we hear what people have allegedly experienced with Boz over the years, her very quick stints at Uber, Netflix, Apple Music, et cetera, it makes us all kind of go, And then what we see on this show, we're like, oh, that lines up. That lines up. All right. So let me keep going down. Because she could have been deleting comments. I should have saved some of these comments, but she didn't. Look, no, some of these comments are still here. All right. Someone says, I like you, Boz, but I don't give a damn what happened at the reunion. You and Erica depicted completely repulsive mean girl behavior on Watch What Happens Live. There's clearly a new clique, and I say goodbye to that. Hard to imagine you participating in that since you were in corporate world for so long. This person must have not read the tea that we've been talking about. Allegedly, this is very much in line. Also, you clearly don't know what this clicky cast has done for the last couple of seasons. Unwatchable by Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Best of luck to you, Boz. I need to go find, because one of these people she replied to. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Is this the one she responded to? Let me see. I know she replied to some of these. Let me see if I can find it. All right, let me just read this comment, though. Autumn said, girl, after that nasty response to last night on Watch What Happens Live, ? Please. Being mean on national television and then nice in a slideshow on Instagram are not even comparable. For someone who acted as a moral compass all season, it was really disappointing to see your behavior. And you're right, Garcelle did pave the way. And the reality is you will also see in time just who these ladies really are. You will also see how quickly the audience turns on Black women. She then says she was also the fan favorite at first. Then they tore her apart down to her children, both the ladies and the audience. Garcelle is not a saint, but her frustration and pain were warranted, and no one cared about it. We hear about Erica's gripes over the Tom situation with the group every season, but Garcelle gets told to get over it. Very disappointing to see how easily you turned on her. I can't imagine how much that hurt her to watch last night. So this is all about her appearance. This is not about what, the tea that we talked about from the reunion. This is more so about what people watched on Watch What Happens Live last night. Let me see if I can find where she replies to someone. I wish I had saved it. Or did I? Look, sometimes I'm better than I think I am. This other comment here says, I didn't expect you to jump on the I Hate Garcelle bandwagon. There was no need to come to her defense, but we didn't see the need to be an op. But we'll wait to see what Garcelle did to personally offend you. All right, let me see, because I know she replied to someone here. Here comes another comment. Another person says, you are such a disappointment and you have to be one of the biggest letdowns on reality TV. The way that you came in this group and aligned yourself against Garcelle purposefully and then act as though you want to show that you both can exist in this space is a personification of hypocrisy. I just love that the people that are commenting are not just being hateful. They are laying out their issue with what they're watching. So a hot pretty mess also said, I think this is the one she replied to. She said, your actions with Erica on Watch What Happens Live literally confirmed what everyone was thinking. All the rumors that have been coming out about how you treat Black women in corporate America have been giving a leg to stand on based on the way you treated Garcelle. To be such a boss and have the real colonizers of Beverly Hills turn you into the help was heartbreaking. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Oh, maybe she deleted her reply? Let me see if I saved it, y'all. Let me see if I saved it because... No, did I? No, I saved that comment, but we already read that. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep scrolling. No, I think that was the comment. Maybe she deleted it. Maybe she deleted her comment. Because I was pretty sure that was the post that she replied to. Damn it. Look, damn it. No, I don't see it. Another person in the comment section, for those that are just joining us, we're talking about Bozoma St. John being dragged in her own comment section after putting this picture of her and Garcelle on her 12th slide. 12th slide. I guess we were supposed to dig through all of this to find this heartfelt message that she didn't even share in her Instagram story. We checked. This other person says, Boz, you need to watch Garcelle's 5 years on the show and see how she was treated by Dorit, Erica, Renna, Diana, Kyle. For you to side with the white women and believe the mess they gave you is suspect. You are no better than them in partaking with their mess. I so wanted to like you as a strong Black woman coming onto the show, but you were not the friend to another Black woman I thought you would be. And that is sad. From one Black woman to another, do better. They treat us any way they want. We should stand by our own and not partake in the foolishness. Whew, child. Let me see. Let me keep going. Yes, so I know she did respond to one of these comments, and I can't seem to find it unless she deleted it. I don't think she would. Let me see if I can, because sometimes when you look on the website version of Instagram, it doesn't hit the same. So let me look. Let me look. And while I'm doing that, guys, keep liking the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Let me go here. Let me go to the comment section. Let me go down. Let me go down. Because if it's not there, then, oh, she must have deleted it, y'all. I think she did delete those comments because now they're not coming up. Oh no, they're not coming up anymore. Yeah. Okay, Bozoma, you deleting your own comments? Because now your comments aren't even coming up. Only the comments where she was not like clapping back are coming up. Because she was clapping back a couple of hours ago. Oh wait, no, I found it. Never mind. I found it. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. It was a little further. This was one of the comments that I saw. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this comment. Where is it? But let me keep reading these comments because some of these comments are giving what I'm like, okay. I like you, Boz, but I don't give a damn what happened at. Oh no, we read those already. Let me go down. Okay. Let me go down. I'm gonna just make sure I look for this comment. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here it is. Let me see. Okay, so this person commented. They said it's going to be epic. Okay, Shore says it's going to be epic when they all turn on you next. I was hoping you were smarter than what you've shown on the show, becoming the muscle for problematic cast members looking to deflect from their own bad behavior. Good luck to you. So I don't. Okay, here's Bozoma's comment. Look, can y'all see? Everyone can see. All right. So Boz responds. He says, "Sweetheart, I promise you that I didn't make it to the 4C suite offices without understanding how to hold my own. And that was without cameras and without people cheering me on. And yet I survived, thrived, and looked good doing it, with accolades to boot. So watch me work." Heart emoji. I feel like that's her same response, though, to every time she's called out. It's the same response. It's the same rehearsed response. And I'm like, okay. But here's the thing. I also love the fact when I heard Boz was going to be on the show, I was like, oh, well, she has a very interesting story with her husband and her career, only for us to find out what people have experienced allegedly with her career. But we also have to keep in mind, how long was she at these places? And according to people that allegedly worked with her, they said she really didn't have the effect that she was talking about having. Just saying. She also responded somewhere else. Let me see if I can find that comment too. Let me see. Because there was another comment. Oh, wait, maybe it's down here. I will say this. Mario in the comment section also said this. With all due respect to you, you just lost your beach house and we all heard what it meant to your family. You of all people should not stay quiet and giggle on TV when another successful black woman's beach house was mocked by a woman who could barely rent and her fame came from stolen money. Very disappointing. Good luck season 2. All right. And then some people are tagging Erica Jane in these comments. Because people, look, I think we should also be holding Erica Jane accountable for some of the problematic things that she did last night too. But I'm telling you, if you read this comment section on Boz's post today, they are taking her, like they are dragging her, calling her a snake. Someone says, you showed us exactly who you are and Watch What Happens Live. Ain't nothing badass about sitting there silent and laughing the way you did. Bunny said, I was rooting for you so hard, but I am so frustrated with you. How you behaved on Watch What Happens Live was appalling. My God. If these rumors are true about what you did to Garcelle, mark my words, Kyle, Dorit, Erica will turn on you next. And it's so obvious that you clearly didn't watch the previous seasons. Congratulations on being the token black puppet for Erica and Dorit. I beg to differ, though. I think that she did watch those past seasons, but allegedly, that's her MO in corporate America. Allegedly. Oh, damn. Hold on. Let me be careful before I read this comment, but let me read it in my head real quick, y'all. Oh. Well, I'm just going to read this comment because this is posted on a public platform. And y'all could go read this for yourselves. I'm not making this up myself. And this is from Fragrance with Love on she posted this like 2 hours ago. Black women do not buy her badass workshops. She's that corporate kind who will push other black women out. Meanwhile, she wants to profit off us. Your treatment of Garcelle has been so disheartening to watch. If she had actually done something to you, that would be one thing. But how do you go from making jokes with her about your braids being an anchor on the boat in St. Lucia to demeaning her on Watch What Happens Live? You are scarily duplicitous. Shoot. Damn. Look. Another person says your silence about Garcelle was deafening. And for the newbie, you've been very clear in your dislike of everybody but Dorit. You are a major disappointment. They are dragging her in her comment section, y'all. Someone says, you cheered on a waitress that flaunted victims' money and had to marry a man that was twice her age to be relevant. Garcelle worked and built a career, honestly, and you helped the white girls tear her down. I don't like it now. They have power over you. They used you because they couldn't do it. And is Erica really interesting besides the trashy music and her? Damn, I'm not gonna read those last parts. Damn, y'all. I only read a couple of these, and I'm just like, damn, it keeps going and going and going. Someone says I was rooting for you, but after watching on Watch What Happens Live, you lost a fan. But here's the thing, and I said this before. Let me get out of here. I said this before that she only posted this. I believe, in my opinion, that she only posted, Bozoma St. John only posted this because she was receiving backlash. And then she put this photo of her and Garcelle from one of the other trips, not trips, but group events that they had. And then she posted this message that people are like, girl, this is damage control. And mind you, it's the 12th slide. There are a lot of people that did not even see this. They're going to see it now because we're talking about it. But they didn't even see it. I could understand if Garcelle did something to Bozoma, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I told you what allegedly is brought up during the reunion as to be part of the reason why Bozoma had a problem with Garcelle. And it was something that Sutton said, but she allegedly made it Garcelle's problem and fault. Like, you didn't correct her. Okay. All right. We have quite a few people backstage that want to call in and share their thoughts. But before we do that, I'm going to say thank you for a few super chats. Guys, we have over 2,500 of you watching on multiple platforms. Thank you. We appreciate that. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter. We got over like 1,100 people on Twitter watching. Hey, Twitter. Look. I'm giving what is it, Britt Edie's husband's face. Okay. All right. Let me say thank you because we had a few super chats. We appreciate the support, guys, but you can also support just by liking the video, by sharing the video. We appreciate that. Gary says, notice Bravo didn't release the streaming numbers for RHOA last season, even though they were doing it for other cities. They have a narrative to spin. And I'm telling you, according to my sources, they are concerned. They are concerned. I don't know. Look, y'all know I don't come out with my source information or exclusive information. Ever. Like, I get a lot of stuff that I don't run with or talk about. But when I do, please understand why I'm doing it. RH, thank you so much for the super chat. RH says, use me as I'm here to drag Bo's button. No, look, no, we're not going to drag Bo's. That's something that she would do. Leisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Leisha says, Kempire, the show is over. Storylines are tired. Portia worried about Dennis after tried to get him locked up in Mexico. We didn't forget about that, Leisha. Remember when we recap Portia's Family of Lies? About Dennis after she got to get him locked up in Mexico. Portia and Simon ruined it. T with Shaw, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Bo's wearing the fabric from Ghana while throwing Garcelle under the bus was diabolical. I didn't even think about that. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Another super chat. Oh, but let me shimmy because that's a $20. Look, we got to shimmy. You know what that is, right, Erica Jane? Rahina says, F Erica. Sorry, I'm annoyed. I'm a fellow Haitian and I'm pissed that they came for my Haitian sister. Yeah. And your own. Look, your own. Rahina, thank you for another super chat. Box by. Not really a typo. Uh-oh. Look, uh-oh. Thank you for another super chat. Tamia, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, short at 1989 is what? Oh, thank you, Tamia. Oh, you were trying to get me to. I'm sorry, but thank you so much, Tamia. I appreciate you doing the work to help me figure it out. Yes, Tamia, I reposted this on X. Netflix posted Garcelle is and will always be that girl. First of all, the Jamie Foxx show, which is on Netflix, another reason why they're highlighting her, and she's on their new show, The Survival of the Thickest. So come on, she's a part of the family. But we've been saying this, even if she wasn't booked and busy, she's been that girl. Rahina, you was giving us the coins. Reading Bose's comment, I realized that she sounds like my ex-friend who happened to be African. She actually scammed me recently. Oh wait, you talked about that, right? Rahina, you called us and you told us about what happened with that. Thank you for another super chat, Rahina. Rahina says, so dismissive too, putting it on the 12th slide. Kempire, so sorry. I am so annoyed. They came from my Haitian sisters. Yeah, that's the shady part about it. You're doing the damage control, but you put it on the 12th slide. First of all of these slides that she was showing, ain't nobody going through all these slides of you talking and pictures and whatnot from Watch What Happens Live. Ain't nobody going through all of that to finally get to the post where you talk about Garcelle. That's the shade of it all. And then in your note to her, it sounds like you're saying goodbye to an employee. Guess once corporate America op, always a corporate America op. All right. Let me say thank you. We're almost at 1,000 likes. Thank you guys so much for liking the video already without me having to ask. I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe as well so you don't miss out. We don't just talk about the housewives here. I know this week and these last couple of weeks have been a lot of housewives stuff, but we also talk about everything in pop culture. So be sure to check out some of the stories that you may have missed already this week and last week. Dining Out Lover, thank you so much for the super chat. Shape the stories how you want. Hey, Boz, we're not slow. You're not like us. And remember at the top of the season when we were talking about her being a marketing executive, I was like, that makes me concerned. That makes me really, really concerned. Yeah. All right. So for those that are just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta ratings dropping, and Bravo is trying to do damage control. This is the theme of today's live show, is damage control. And then Bozoma St. John is trying to do her own damage control on social media about the backlash that she's been receiving for her just sitting there while Erica Jane made a lot of microaggressions about Garcelle. Okay. All right. We have quite a few members backstage that want to share their thoughts. Those of you that are backstage, you will be getting only a minute. So please respect the timer so that we're able to get to everyone. Shout out to everyone watching on multiple platforms. We appreciate the support there. And again, sometimes we go live exclusively on those platforms like TikTok, right? TikTok. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok as well. All right. Let me get to the callers. And again, I'm just going to remind you the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors. And be sure to check out the description for more information on tonight's sponsors. Okay, that's a great way of also supporting the channel. Okay. Did Karine, did someone say this? Karine says Kemp is not pitting two black women against each other. He's pointing out what is evident to us. But I already know that there will be the onesies and the twosies that will say that. No, I hate this. This is very uncomfortable for me because I was excited about Bozoma being on the show. And then I can't help when people start giving me information from behind the scenes and I'm like, oh my God. And then people in the comment section confirm like, oh yeah, I heard this or that. I experienced this. And I was like, oh God, I hate this. And then when I found out about the reunion tea, I was even more disappointed. Because I didn't expect that to happen. We were already talking about some of the other things, but I didn't expect that to happen. All right. Let's get to our callers. Tanya, it's saying devices are not connected. I'm not sure. You might have to drop out and call back in or switch something. Oh, there we go. All right. So Tanya's backstage. We're going to bring Tanya up first. Tanya, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I know you were like, this girl don't have a life. I don't. Anyways, let's get to it.
Go ahead.
So I recently started looking up the Bethany Frankel videos about the reality reckoning, and
Mm-hmm.
wow, for someone who is not amongst the African American community and is pointing out the indiscretions that is happening behind the scenes, and now to see it be so highlighted across the TV,
Mm-hmm.
Bose better get smart and real quick about it. This is not corporate America where you have standard rules and procedures. These people are going to manipulate the rules so that it fits in their favor. And next season when they turn on you, you are going to remember what Garcelle's pain felt like. They have made so many attacks against her, and I'm not saying that Garcelle has always had a clean hand throughout the show, but the way that Bozoma sat there and let Erica berate Garcelle, she was better off just not saying anything, better than her laughing there like nothing about it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, Kempire.
Thanks, Sonia. And it's okay. You can have a life with us.
Listen, my boo was like, "Are you watching Kempire again?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be back when I'm finished. Bye."
At least you got a boo. Some of us are here without boos.
He just gotta wait, okay?
Okay. Tanya, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Demi's backstage. We're going to bring Demi up next. Hold on one second. Demi, putting my headphones in properly. All right. Demi, what did you want to share?
I want to buy like 5 minutes. This needs like 5 minutes. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. One thing I
was
want to
about to
say,
hang up.
I appreciate how sharp you are and how on point you always are. I sincerely want to get that out the way really quick. You are so phenomenal in what you do. Sincerely.
Thank you.
Her being on Jimmy Fallon with Bose. Her being on Jimmy Fallon was very interesting. Have we even seen Bethany Frankel on Jimmy Fallon and any of like the real big deal people? Because she's on Jimmy Fallon based off of her being on the show, not off of her accolades in her history, in her professional history.
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting. Also, I think it's cool that we're seeing this type, Phaedra, these type of women. I don't think people have really seen this sort of Black woman before. This is something that we deal with. A woman that is only out for herself, that looks the part, but she's not really about the people. A marketing genius, but definitely be someone that's highly calculated. Like, what does she want? What does she want from this? I don't think it's just her hair. I think she wants something much bigger. All right, have a great one.
Thank you, Demi. Something for us to sit and think about. That's actually, I didn't think about that. Well, I said I believe it's to sell her hair products, but also for her workshops. So, but what's the bigger thing? Does she want a talk show? Does she want? It's something. That's a good point, Demi. All right, Winter's backstage. Winter, what did you want to share?
Okay, so I was just like wondering, the more of the stories came out about the reunion and everything and about Garcelle leaving, I'm like, knowing Garcelle's character from what we see, what could she have done so bad that she didn't do over the last 5 seasons that could have gotten them to crucify her like that on Watch What Happens Live? Like, Bose, you just met her, why are you going in? And then it kind of was giving like, I felt like they was jumping her at that point. Like instead, you know how you see somebody getting attacked on the train and you don't help, you're part of the problem. Like that's how I felt.
Oh.
Like I was just like, I mean, I'm not helping. Living in New York City, you gotta kind of mind your business. But it was just like I didn't like that. Like I feel like Bose doesn't understand that Garcelle broke a lot of walls coming into this show. Like she really broke barriers and had those tough conversations with these women that have never had those conversations before. And if it wasn't for her, you probably wouldn't be here, sis. Like, why would you come here and not even just try to like align yourself with her? I should have knew she was a problem coming in blindly and aligning herself with Dorit without knowing the full story. So, anyways, good night.
Thank you so much, Winter. All right, we have Tyler backstage. We'll bring Tyler up next. Tyler, what did you want to share about all of this information?
Okay, so Bozoma just reminds me of some of those. I'm a gay black male and very feminine. It reminds me of some of those gays who present as masculine, who work in corporate America with me, who will shun me out and don't want us to be in the room with them because we don't fit the mold of what they are. Oh, those things happen a lot too. But I'm just gonna leave that one alone. Atlanta, real quick. I will say this: Atlanta is getting exactly what they deserve, karma. Season 12 was a good season. Everything, Nene, Kenya, all them, they did not want to pay those black girls top salary. Let's be clear. And so they ridiculed Nene while she wasn't the best, while her husband was dying, going through cancer. And then the nerve of you to get rid of Kenya, not let her tell her story, but you're gonna bring Phaedra back. And when she did what she did to Candy, and bring her back, that makes no sense. And you're gonna allow Phaedra to call a group. While I don't agree with everything that the Married to Medicine does, but you let her call them fat, funny looking, angry black women, all the derogatory terms that you can say about black women, you let her say that. You would never let them do that on those white shows. So I don't feel sorry for them. Pay those black women what they deserve, and that's that on it.
Thank you, Tyler.
Look.
All right. I didn't think about that in regards to the gays in corporate America. Look, Tyler got me thinking. I was like, All right. Elijah's backstage. Elijah, what did you want to share in regards to all of this information?
Hey, Kempire. I wanted to say that when it comes to Atlanta, I think that in all honesty, they need to just put things aside and bring Kenya back because I don't feel that regardless of what Kenya did, it deserves this type of treatment, especially her being a veteran, and for a newbie. And to me, it feels like Britt came in with an agenda, honestly, because she's doing way too much. And I know it's edited, but you would think they would keep it in, especially if they want to make Britt look better than Kenya, right? So you would think they would keep in anything that would, prove her point. And then with Beverly Hills, I'm really disappointed in Bose and that she didn't say anything. And I understand that just because a person's the same skin color as another one, we don't have to like each other. But at the same time, she should have spoken up for her, and Erica should not be talking. Erica doesn't own anything. You know what I'm saying? Garcelle owns 2 homes. She owns nothing. You know what I mean? And she has legal suits going on, so she should worry about that. I don't understand why she had to come at her like that.
Yeah.
I think
All
that, and I think it
season.
just showed, huh?
All season.
Exactly, and I think that just truly shows that the dislike for Garcelle has always been there, and that's their issue. And they have an issue, I think, with a strong woman of color coming on the show and people liking her more than them. And I think that's the problem. And so, but I'm glad that Garcelle left and she showed them who's boss.
All right. Thank you so much, Elijah. All right. DM is backstage. We're going to bring DM next. DM, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can. Okay, so I haven't talked to you in over a month, and the last time we talked was over Kim Huger getting arrested.
Oh, yeah.
And I spoke on that I got arrested. So should I say that? I don't want to take over a minute of my time, but I want to clear it up,
Well, this is not the time to clear it up if it's not related to what we're talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, with Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think that they're trying to do a spinoff of Love and Hip Hop. To be honest, it just gives that, and I don't feel like Phaedra or Portia should be on. You spoke on that Portia, she never. I mean, not Portia. Phaedra never apologized to what she did to Candy. So now that they got the budget back, Phaedra is back on. I've been rewatching it, and it was disgusting. Like, it just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Boza, I think that she's a snake in the eye too. I think that Garcelle could do better, but All right. Well, good night. Thank you.
You too, DM. Bye. All right. We've got NYC DMP backstage. NYC DMP, what's going on? What did you want to talk about?
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Quick question, real quick. Should we be charging our crystals tonight and tomorrow night? I'm not sure. But beyond that, I never thought Beverly Hills could make me so upset. And when 4.25 was on and everything she said, incense, it's just been atrocious. But then I was really loving Bozoma, and it side-eyed her because she did have a lot of references that were very impressive, but very, very short. And she kept jumping around. So I really wanted it. And then today, I was listening to you guys recap, and I'm at work. And when you show the Garcelle clip when she would quit, I literally, like, my eyes got red. And I started crying in front of my coworkers. And they don't watch Bravo, so they don't understand. But anyway, I'm going to miss her. I miss she did, but I miss her. And I'm gonna miss Garcelle so much more. Like, it honestly felt like a real loss. Anyway, y'all have a great evening. Have a great tomorrow. And I guess stay out of the water on the 29th. I don't know. Instagram. Anyway, y'all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right. We're going to bring up Kookie next. Kookie, what did you want to share in regards to all of this?
Hey, Kempire. How are
Hey. I'm well.
you?
How are you?
I'm just really disappointed. I'm glad that I was lower on the list because I was ready to curse and say some really trashy things about
Oh.
Bozoma and stoop down to her level because she's just a snake in the grass. Like I've gone to a predominantly white institution, like a college, and you get a lot of Oreo black people. They're just very, very dark skinned white people, and that's Bozoma. Like she is just like a Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, tomfoolery type of person. She just is very manipulative, trying to control the narrative of it, like she's trying to coexist with Garcelle when she has not. She is not. And I think she's just very jealous of Garcelle. If you scroll through her Instagram, some of them old photos of Bozoma, I'm like, okay, I can see why. Like if you looking like that and then you
All right,
get your
let's
little
not.
tweaks
Here's the thing,
done and
guys.
stuff.
Here's the thing. There's so much that we can say about people, and specifically when it comes to Bozoma St. John. Let's not talk about people and their looks. Let's not make comments on like all the. I already give you guys a disclaimer. No derogatory comments. We can express our disdain for someone's
Okay, I
behavior.
apologize if that's derogatory. I didn't know. I just think that there's a certain look that people try to like when you're
Okay, but that's not the facts of the situation or what we're talking about. All right. All right. We're going to move on, Kookie. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. Tish is backstage. We're going to bring Tish up next. What's going on, Tish?
Wagwan Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I did not get to finish my comment from earlier, so I'm just going to finish that now since
it's
you
relatable.
Thank you so much. It is. Absolutely. So I see a lot of misconception in the chat, on Twitter, on social media about Boz and her not knowing what she got herself into. And I just want to remind you guys what her position was and what she did as a chief marketing officer and strategist. That means it was her job to strategize. And to strategize, you need to do your research. So for everyone who's saying, oh, she doesn't know the other side, she knows the other side. It doesn't align with her agenda, and so it does not apply to the situation. We all saw her sit there with Sutton. Sutton gave her example after example of the hypocrisy within the group, and it moved her nowhere. Why? Because she didn't care. Again, it did not align with her agenda. The only other thing I have to say is that she lacks self-awareness. She thinks very highly of herself. And funny enough, I wrote in here that she sacrificed her alliance with us to appeal to the other side, and that it was a horrible strategy. And then I saw that she dropped that apology or comment, and I was like, oh, there's that performativeness. There she is trying to spin that story again. There's that strategy. She's re-strategizing. So for everyone who doesn't think she knows what she's doing, she knows exactly what she's doing. It just failed miserably.
All right, Tish, thank you so much for calling in.
My pleasure.
Bye. Yeah, I forgot to mention that during our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Did you guys pay attention to Bozoma's reaction to Sutton? Look, I don't think Sutton's innocent. Sutton has done a lot. Sutton was annoying during this trip. But when Sutton was explaining her side, because remember, Boz said she did this excursion to kind of let Sutton know that, because she believed that Sutton believed that she was just Team Dorit. But her facial expression was giving, yeah, you're just listening to act like you're concerned. Again, if you've been in corporate America, you've seen that face before when you know they're not really listening. They're just sort of like, we're going to hear your side, but I still feel the way that I feel, especially as someone that has worked and I've seen how management moves. I'm just like, yeah, I see right through it. All right, let me get to the rest of these callers. Hayat is backstage. Hayat, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna try to keep it cute because it's still Ramadan, but it's hard. It's hard, Kempire.
It's coming to an end soon.
It is. It is. I honestly, Bozoma, it makes me sad because I'd be foolish to not recognize that she does remind me, and as an African, of certain Africans that buy into this myth of the model minority thing, and they think that they're better than certain Black people, and think they cannot be treated a certain way because they are so much smarter or whatever it may be, which is false and ridiculous and is anti-Blackness at its finest. And I think Bozoma's gonna wake up from that dream, and then she's gonna enter that dream again because she just seems like a person that repeats the same mistakes over and over. So just saying, that's me trying to keep it cute. Real quick about Atlanta. Honestly, I don't know why they brought Portia back. I've been not a fan of Portia since I watched that Portia Family Values. She is horrible person. Horrible Kempire. I cannot say it any more than that. Her daughter's gorgeous though, but that's it.
All right. Thanks, Ayad.
Thank you.
I mean, I know why they brought Portia back, but they brought Portia back because they thought they were getting Portia Gobadia and a $7 million home, and she's married. They thought they were getting a different Portia. Do I think they had other intentions? Like, we're going to bring up the whole Portia and Simon and you taking someone else's husband. But they were bringing her back thinking they were going to get, because that was a big story when it happened. So I know why Bravo decided to bring her back. All right, let me get to the rest of these callers. Miss Sharon's backstage. Miss Sharon, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing this fine evening?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hey, you know what I heard in these internet streets?
What?
I heard that Real House of Atlanta has a short season because they didn't get enough good footage.
Oh,
And
excuse me.
did you hear that?
I haven't heard that. I'm going to ask, though.
Yeah, ask about that because I think it's only like 14 episodes, and that's with the what do you call it? The at the end of the season, what do you call that?
The season finale or the reunion?
Yeah, the reunion. That's with the reunion. Now, since the ratings are so bad, and what they should have strategized, because a lot of people like to watch basketball, and this is March Madness. They should cancel some of these shows until after March Madness and bring it back in April. But that's just my opinion because I'm a sports lover, as you know.
We know.
And also, I think I also heard in these internet streets that if they don't get their ratings up, that they will take it off the air and show the rest of them on Peacock. Now that's just what I heard, but don't tell nobody I told you.
I'm not going to tell nobody, okay? But I just want to just correct you based off IMDb. It doesn't look that way. It looks like they will have at least, well, unless some of these episodes represent the reunion, but I don't know if that's true. Based off of IMDb, they're supposedly going to have, what is this? It looks like 18 episodes, maybe.
18?
16 to 18 episodes. I mean, they have been getting shorter and shorter seasons across the board. But yeah. All right.
Yeah, because I can remember when what is that? Jersey only had like 14 episodes.
Yeah. But they also didn't have much that season. All right, I gotta go. We have a long line. All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye. All right, Shannon, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So I'm not going to comment on Real Housewives of Atlanta because I'm not watching it. It's not. It's
We could
falling
tell
flat
the
for me.
numbers.
I know. So we will just continue with that. But on Beverly Hills, I am very disappointed. I really, really, truly enjoyed Beverly Hills, and then I kind of stopped watching it after Lisa Vanderpump left. But when they brought Garcelle on, I was like, yes, because number one, she is that girl. But to me, I felt like it was a way of showing representation for that particular franchise, because of course it is known for money and influence and all of that. And so when we saw that Bose was coming on, I was super excited about that too, and was really rooting for both of them, that okay, we're gonna have two on the show.
Yeah.
But as the season went on, I just became increasingly disappointed. And then I was watching Watch What Happens Live when it aired yesterday, when it was happening, and I was just so disappointed. So I hope Bose watches her back, because I don't think it's going to end well for her. And I won't be watching next season either. So go Garcelle.
Oh, thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, Keith's backstage. Keith, are you back in your apartment?
I sure am.
I know that's right. What do you want to share?
So, I lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah. So, with Bose, I'm actually pretty sad about what's going on, because if she really thinks that Dorit is her friend and Dorit is going to defend her over Cal, or Dorit is going to defend her over Erica, she really is Bozo the Clown. Okay,
What did I
it's
just
real.
say? What did
It's
I
really.
just say about the name calling?
You're right. She really is, in the words of Wendy Williams, less than smart. Um, but also, I just want to say, like, both with Bose, it's not surprising. I feel like in fields other than just corporate. It's just very common for that to be a stature for certain people in that environment. Because I remember one time I had a coworker try to get me fired, a black coworker try to get me fired. Okay, so that was the whole nother thing. So I just honestly I just hope they do something better with Beverly Hills, and I just think a bigger refresh needs to be happening.
Okay. All right, Keith. Thank you so much for calling in. Oops, sorry. And shout out to those of you that have become members of the channel. We appreciate it. Head on over to teamkempire.com/join to become a member. There's all kinds of really great perks. And we will be doing a members only live chat sometimes. And we also do members only lives. I do have the Kempire After Dark a live experience video that I will be sharing exclusively with members. I know I said last week, I got busy, y'all. Y'all can see, look, I'm live on a Wednesday night at 9:30. Just saying. All right, V's backstage. We're going to bring V up next. V, what did you want to share in regards to all of what's playing out?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm looking a mess. I just got finished working out. But anyway, real quick, the lady with the strategy comment is really what I was going to kind of hint on, because being in the military, I have worked in an environment like my last command where it was all white staff, and then a person of color did come in. And, when I seen her, I was just like, this is what I've experienced here, but, you just keep it professional, yada, 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 because they tore her up when she got there. So I was just like really trying to look out for her, but she ended up kind of turning on me, and I didn't even know it until the last minute. One of the girls came and talked to me and was like, hey, she's doing this with you, but she's doing something else with someone else. So that strategy thing that she was talking about really reminds me of that situation. So I'm not gonna go too much more into detail, but what she said is what I was gonna say, and it just doesn't happen in the corporate world. It happens in the military. It happens everywhere. We just have to be very mindful how we carry ourselves, and like she said, all skin folk and kinfolk. Use your discernment. God gives you discernment. Meditate. Use your discernment, and then you will know how to move. But don't take your. Okay, that's it. All right. Good night.
Thanks, V. Have a good night. All right, Bernice is backstage. Bernice, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I wanted to say about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm just not into it too much because I don't like how the editing is, the quality looks, and I really don't like the girls too much. Only one of them, but look, I can't even remember her name. So what does that tell you? So, yeah. So, and then as far as the Real Wives, the Beverly Hills thing, I think that from the moment Sutton came on the show, with her pompous attitude, Garcelle should have just, when they say someone shows you who you are, believe them. Why would she think that she would have her back at the end of the day when it comes to people of her own kind, I would say. Second, but Garcelle gonna be all right. She is gonna be all right.
She already is all right.
Her. The show should worry. The show should worry about now that she's leaving. So for Bose and Erica, at the end of the day, when the show is gone, who we gonna be still talking about? Garcelle. Nobody gonna be talking about Erica. And that's all I had to say. But I did want to say one thing to you real quick. How come you don't acknowledge Tauruses, April Tauruses?
It's not that time of yet. It's still Aries season, Bernice.
I know, but you just be like May. You just jump right into May and forget about an Aries.
Bernice, I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm dropping you. Goodbye. It's Aries season right now, and I'm not even in Aries. All right. Live chat. I did drop the calling for the general audience, but I will drop it one last time. But if you're a member of the channel, it is available to you anytime backstage. All right. Let me bring up Ellie next. Ellie, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey, how are you?
Oh gosh. Good. With Atlanta, I have not watched Atlanta in years, probably since Nene left. Honestly, it's been out of my mind. You get little clips here and there, but I'm very naive, or I guess that's not the word, ignorant, I guess, to what storylines are happening. I've only seen little clips. So now that I'm watching this season, I'm actually having a good time. Like it is. I know I'm on an island by myself.
No, it's okay.
I'm having a good time because it's kind of like liar on liar over there, but it's funny because I don't know the backstories and I don't need to know them. And it's like, Portia, you're so so dramatic. And she's like, she said the exact opposite to Dennis. And I was like laughing because I'm like, she did not say the exact opposite. She just said he was her angel on earth, which is a
Ellie.
terrible thing to say. Oh my God. Hilarious. So I'm having fun over there, which is great because Beverly Hills, I'm so disappointed. Just like I said earlier, I just like hate is not okay. Roasting and like teasing and playing, that's my love language. We are a family of roasters.
Mm,
But hating the way that Bozoma is doing it, the way that Erica is, and I'm sorry for taking your time, not cool.
no.
Anyway, bye,
All right.
Kempire.
Thanks, Ellie. All righty. We have, okay, before I get to the rest of the calls, we did have a few super chats. So I'm going to prioritize those super chats. We appreciate the support and we appreciate you all being members. I see quite a few members sending in super chats. So thank you, because not only they're paying a monthly fee to be a member of the channel, they're also sending in money, which I appreciate. And shout out to those of you that send in Cash App, Venmo, Zells, all that stuff. We appreciate that support as well, because that goes directly to us and YouTube don't get a cut. But it's okay. Salt and Pepper Natural, thank you for being a member. They say, Sutton makes a materialistic comment about her wallet and Garcelle doesn't say a word. So why the outrage over the beach house? We don't know if she didn't say a word or not. We do know in real time that Bozoma didn't say anything. Because remember, we're watching an edited show. For all we know, they did have a conversation about that. And you do see, don't got me defending Garcelle. You do see her later say, and I think the next episode, it was a terrible comment. It was a wrong comment, which I'm pretty sure they did have a conversation about that. And we did talk about that. But like I said, in real time, we see Bozoma not say anything. Hi, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Boz is a fool. She's really running to be a part of the bitter and vile broke ladies of Beverly Hills adjacent. As I said before, we can stop with the name calling, which I appreciate. Those that were in her comment section, we went through that earlier today, were able to express their disappointment and their issue with Boz without name calling. We are grown adults. We don't need to call anyone a name in order to express our disappointment with whatever they've done. L Singleton, thank you so much for the super chat. L says, I guarantee people are investigating Keely's background just to diminish Boz. We will soon find out that Keely is another paid actor just like TJ. L Singleton, where you been? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We pulled up his IMDb. Yes, he's an actor. Well, he was an actor. But if you were in California, you were in LA, and a lot of times you're probably going to date an actor. But yeah, he's got an IMDb. He's been in a few movies. And Elsa, you missed that episode when we talked about that. Lizzie, thank you so much for the super chat. Lizzie says, please don't generalize Africans. A Nigerian would never. We would have had Garcelle's back. I actually teared up watching Watch What Happens Live. She's such a pick-me. Ew. Please, when you guys send super chats like this, because people are just joining us, they're going to think that you're talking about me generalizing Africans. You're talking about comments in the comment section. So I just want to point that out. So for those that are just joining us, Lizzie ain't talking about me because I ain't never said anything about Africans or generalized them in this live. Okay? But thank you, Lizzie, for the super chat. Angie, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Angie says, I just came in. Did you see the message Boz posted to Garcelle? Very superficial after seeing her on Watch What Happens Live, giggling about Erica's cheap shots. Also, Boz style look. Okay, we're not going into that. Angie, we did talk about that. Scroll back. All right, the Girls Club, thank you so much for the super chat. The Girls Club says, based on Boz's resume history, do you think she'll be around next season? I was honestly surprised that Garcelle beat her to the punch. Well, the Girls Club is talking about how Boz usually stays a place a year or two before she moves on. I think she'll be back next season. I don't think she's achieved her ultimate goal just yet. I definitely think she'll be back next season. Gary, thank you so much for the super. Gary says, I don't think production intended for Portia to be an anchor for RHOA. They were originally going to build the cast around Kenya and Candy. Candy's exit and Kenya's scandal threw their plans off. Gary, you're incorrect. Based on what I know, because of sources, that was not the intention for the reboot. Kenya was not a part of their plan for the reboot. Olsen, thank you so much for the super chat. Olsen says, does no name calling include Porri? No, we're calling her by a name that is used on the show, which we've addressed. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Tish says, some of y'all must be new here. We are fair over here at Team Kempire. We whack everyone equally. Anyone can get it. Just in case they forgot. Tamia, thank you so much for another super chat. Tamia says, Bose has been positively rewarded for her decisions to date. Nothing will change. All right. All right. On that note, I'm going to say goodnight. No, I'm playing. I'm going to take these last couple of calls, but if these callers don't pass the vibe check, I'm going to end the live. Just an FYI, because I really don't need to be here taking all the calls. Please understand, I do that as a courtesy. That's not necessarily a privilege or a guarantee or mandatory. All right? All right. Let me get to Kenny. Hold on. Kenny, let me bring you up. Kenny, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. So devil's advocate here. All the smoke that everyone has for Bozoma, it's fine. I get that, but where's that same smoke for Sutton? Because according to what I'm hearing, Sutton sat there and let this all play out and did not defend Garcelle not one time when they was coming at her. The whole PK of it all, I guess, yeah, if somebody accused me of doing what she accused PK of doing, to be honest, that is a lawsuit. But again, that was like over 2 years ago. Bozoma, I don't think that she's this big bad person that everybody tonight is making her out to be. I think she's a sweet person. I just do not, the editing of this show is so bad. But also, let's not forget when Sutton was on with Garcelle a couple weeks ago, somebody was bashing Bozoma and nobody defended Bozoma. So right is right and fair is fair. I think Garcelle should have helped in. She's from Models Inc., NYPD Blue. I think she should have just kept her diamond and just, did what she usually do for the last 5 years, make the show better. But Sutton is the one everybody should be on because she did not have her back in that reunion. And I'm hearing that from multiple people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Did you hear that from me? Because we posted that yesterday. Okay. All right, Christine, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm good. So last night on Watch What Happens Live, when Erica was sitting up there and said, "Won't he do it?"
Oh, yes. I forgot.
I thought I was hallucinating. I think it was the fact that Erica was using African American vernacular about Garcelle leaving in front of another Black woman who's essentially giving her permission to do so. And I bet she taught Erica that too. So I don't know about Bose, but I know about that type of chick. And that's a certain type of chick. And that ain't it.
Okay. Christine, is that it?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm trying to give you your time, but okay. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
All right. Sierra's backstage. We're going to bring Sierra up next. Hold on one second, Sierra. Sierra, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about anybody. I'm going to talk zodiac signs with these people. I wanted to call in earlier, but of course I was at work and they put a last minute call on my calendar. So, Bose, Aquarius, they have loyalty to nobody. They go where the wind shifts. She goes where it blows. I work in marketing. This is what I do for a living. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm loyal to a T. But, in marketing, you have to strategize. You got to move. Bose is an Aquarius. She's going to go with poor Reed, Sutton, whoever that makes her look better for what she wants to do. Now, Sutton, I'm going to come for you. You Virgo, Sutton, I cannot stand you. Sutton truly wants to be in the cool girl group from high school. That is what the Fox 4-5 is to her. But because she can't, I think Sutton's a beautiful lady of a particular age. But even in this episode, Kempire, did you know when she said I want to just be like the Barbie, and the camera panned on Dorit, and then Erica was like Erica always makes those digs at Sutton about her looks. She knows that Sutton wants to be with them. Kyle does not care for her. Kyle doesn't really care for anybody. And Kyle, true Capricorn, cold as ever. That's it.
Damn. Okay. Came at all the sides. Someone mentioned that Rena posted this on social media about an hour ago, where she posted a photo of her with Erica, Kyle, Teddy, and Dorit, and she puts Fox Force 5 forever. Please. Please. All right. Okay, let me get to the rest of these calls so I can get out of here. All right, Adam's backstage. We're going to bring Adam up next. Adam, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good.
It's late there.
Yeah, it's late, but I just got back. I had a crazy day.
Oh.
I am just upset with the whole Bravo universe. Everything is all over the place. I mean, Beverly Hills, as Freddie and I have expressed to you, this is our favorite franchise, but this is the worst season ever of Beverly Hills. It's all over the place. And I am just really upset with how this has span out with Sutton and Garcelle. Garcelle was Sutton's rock, yet Sutton now wants to be the next Dorit and desperate for Kyle. Garcelle is spelling it out. What is going on here? And I just am really upset with her. You let Jennifer and Garcelle out to dry when Garcelle has had your back for half a decade. And I am just flabbergasted. And even in the reunion trailer, when Garcelle says, "Am I the only one who says that?" Sutton was saying that as well with her. And I'm just thinking, what did Garcelle do to make Sutton flip on her? And I don't know. Garcelle to her Instagram post saying "love you" or whatever, but this whole thing with Garcelle and Sutton is confusing.
No.
But anyway, I can't wait until it's over. But depending on how you're enthusiastic you are about RHOA, I may watch, I may not. Anyway, let me know and have a good night.
You too, Adam. Those ratings, I don't think a lot of us are enthusiastic about it. But okay, we're going to bring up Queen Bee next. Queen Bee, what did you want to share?
So I'm really thinking that Bozoma just miscalculated targeting Garcelle, especially because she keeps comparing the two of them to the other four women, the other four white women. I think she didn't want to push out Garcelle. I think she wanted to make Garcelle her enemy storyline, because to me, it seems that she can't fight the other women. We saw how fast she just switched up on Kyle. First she didn't like her, but now she's making friends with her. I feel like, and Sutton is everybody's punching bag, so she's too easy. But ultimately, I just hope Garcelle is gonna do something similar to Candy and work with Bravo and do her own producing show, or maybe work with Candy and just go about her business and do her. Garcelle. But
Garcelle has a first look deal with NBC Universal. They announced that a couple years ago.
That's true. Okay, Garcelle. Well, there you go. She don't need this show anyway. We all knew that. But
sorry.
But yes, I should have started out by saying, "Hey, Kempire," but I got ahead of myself. I just wanted to make sure I was quick. But there you go.
Thanks.
Good night.
Have a good night. All right. So we have Mai backstage. Mai, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. It's my first time calling, so nice talking to you.
You too.
I just want to say, go Garcelle and go Bose. I like both of them. I'm really disappointed that, maybe they didn't mesh this season, and I feel like that's okay. But I don't like, I guess, the kind of complete shift where we were kind of go Bose, very happy for her, being on the show, and now she did something that a lot of people don't like or don't agree with, and it's just like trash everything about her, trash her career, trash. And I just feel like it's such a shift. This is reality TV. I watch it to decompress, to just enjoy. I don't think it has to be that deep. And I just wish that we just didn't take it that seriously sometimes. No. And that's all. So go both of those ladies. I love them both.
Okay. Mai, thanks so much for calling in.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let me restart the timer. Guys, we have over 2,000 of you watching on YouTube, and shout out to those of you, over almost 2,000 of you watching on Twitter. Hey, Twitter. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, and of course, those of you watching here on TikTok. Make sure you guys follow us on TikTok at TheKempire, or our other social media platforms like Instagram, Threads, X, Blue Sky, Spill, all the places. But make sure you definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you'll get a lot of our long form commentary. All right, Rahina's backstage. We're going to bring Rahina up next. Rahina, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
I'm always so nervous calling you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But I just wanted to share that I'm Haitian. So I relate to Garcelle very much because she's Haitian. I don't know. It's just like something natural.
Mhm.
So how I understood like the reunion clip is that like Garcelle chose to show her authentic self, and nobody was, I don't want to say nobody, but maybe Sutton was just a slight bit. No one was interested to see her for who she truly is. And at the end, when we show our authentic self as Haitian women or Caribbean women, and you know, in a situation like that, we decide to say F it, you know, F the situation. I don't want no parts of it. And she just walked away. So I completely agree with that. I don't want it to, I don't know, because I said that Bose resembled one of my friends who happened to be African who basically betrayed me. I don't want to make it into something that's like African versus like Caribbean.
Mhm.
It's not like that. But I resonate with Garcelle very much in this situation. It just was very hard for me. Sorry, I'm over my time.
No,
So
no problem. Thanks, Rahina, for calling in.
thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Kempire.
Arturo, that kind of language is not accepted here in our live chat. I will just give you that as our first warning. Please and thank you. All right. All right. Arjun will be our last caller. Arjun, what's going on?
Hello, Kempire. Quick
Hey.
question.
Mhm.
Do you think there's going to be like a drop in viewers because of Garcelle leaving next season?
I mean, we can only wait and see. I don't know if I believe that one person makes a show, but based off of the social media's reaction and a lot of I think not necessarily numbers, but I definitely think the demographic is going to change. Where she brought in a lot of Black and women of color that watched the show, I definitely see that changing.
Okay, can you play Set Me Free? Because Garcelle has set me free from this boring
You know
show.
what, Arjun?
Yeah, thank you, Kempire. She set me free from the show. Can I quickly say one thing? Do you think Sutton, when Garcelle walked off, do you know if Sutton also walked off? Like, just so
She
you know.
didn't.
Oh, she didn't? Bye, Sutton. Bye. Bye.
All
Bye.
right. Thanks, Arjun. All right, Jari, I see Jari was trying to call in before. Jari, what's going on? What did you want to share?
I can probably you.
I'm well. How are you? Can you hear
Sorry,
me?
the internet's really, really bad over here. It's raining. I don't watch Beverly Hills, never have, never will.
Cool.
I want to talk about Atlanta. And I hate how Drew has always hated because she's a liar. Like she's not a liar. She lies because she has no choice because she feels like the women don't support her. Kev, don't do
Excuse
that.
me?
Yes, 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 yes. Like we've seen her lie multiple times, but I feel like the women don't support her, so she has to like do some little shenanigans to. I love Drew, and I can never hate Drew.
We like Drew too. We don't like that she lies, but this is interesting. Keep going.
That's what I truly feel, and that's why that day on the scene with Allison, you saw her. She was definitely knocking and bucking because she knows Allison is there to support her. So she's not like interesting Portia. Remember how she was like to Portia that day at Shimmy's party? So
Mm-hmm.
when now at the Beaumont party, you
Okay.
see her, she's actually very assertive. She's speaking her mind, standing 10 toes down because she know one person without a shadow of a doubt will support her. So that's why you can see the contrast between her behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she lies, we understand that, but that's us, it's Drew, and you know.
Okay. Fine. That's fine, Jari. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
calling in. Have a good night.
Bye, Kempire, I
Bye.
love you, bye.
Bye. I just never know what people are going to say. Maybe I should not go live at night because, first of all, y'all know I wake up early. So this is already a long day for me. So it says, please log off. Mia Moore says, Drew Barrymore? I know. She's talking about Drew Sidora. Mind you, on Cynthia and Crystal's podcast, um, Cynthia had some regrets. You know, the comment that she made during this week's episode where she was talking about Drew says a fib or two. And she's like, how can I say lie? I mean, she's never lied to me. And she was concerned that Drew was going to see that was going to be kept in. And she's just like, how do I say lie in a sweet way? Girl, just say lie. It probably would have landed better if you just said lie. We all know she lies. And apparently Drew was just like, I'm going to have to get you on social media for it. Drew, you have been caught in not a fib or two, lies. You are the Mia of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't get why people lie like that, though. Damn. Here's the thing. As my Jamaican mother would say, if you lie, you steal. If you steal, you kill. So for me, these people that we just sort of laugh and kiki about them lying so nonchalantly about some of the biggest things in their lives, we should be concerned. Right? Like, I would not turn my back on these people. Like, when I left Drew at BravoCon, we had a little conversation. I went like this, and I scurried back this way. I didn't turn my back to her. Sorry. But okay. It's fine. I do want to say thank you to everyone that called in. Calling in when thousands of people are watching, grateful, is not an easy feat. So replay crew, be kind. We don't moderate adults in the live chat. And very much like what I can appreciate of what people were saying in the comment section, although they were dragging Bozoma St. John, they were still respectful in their commentary. So I would like for that to continue in the comment section. And if not, you will be removed. Okay? All right? Fine. All right. We had a couple more super chats and then I'm going to say good night. If you haven't liked the video already, it's easy and it's free. I get it. Some of you purposely don't want to like. It's fine as well. You've been watching for 2 hours. So good for me. Look. Fine. If anything, it helps your channel be seen that might not be getting seen. Just saying. That's the YouTube algorithm. Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat. Bernice says, I love you, Kempire. Thank you, Bernice. And slow it down with the Taurus season. I'm also not trying to rush my birthday. Okay. Slow Swift 123, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. And for the beautiful smile. You look so happy. I love when Kempire gets spicy with the callers. And I'm glad I made a live #replay crew. Shout out to our replay crew. We have quite a few people that, are back in the office and, they can't make it to every live. People have lives. People have families. People have kids that need to eat. So I get it. It's okay. Ziggy, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Ziggy says, 17 minutes as a new member and I love it here. Okay, come on. Yes, Ziggy. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate everyone. Some of you have been members for a week. Some of you have been members for 3-4 years. I don't take that lightly. So thank you so much for the support. I'm going to work on this. What's tomorrow, Thursday? I'm going to work on the video for tomorrow to release it. Maybe you guys members, maybe I'll do a post. I'm sure you guys are going to say yes. Lord, if I should play the Kempire After Dark live show live and provide, y'all gonna say yes anyway, so I don't even know why I even put it out there. Goodbye, good night, everyone. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter, y'all lit tonight. Almost 2,000 people watching on Twitter. All right, and shout out to the 2,000 of you watching on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate that as well. All right, y'all, everyone have a fantastic night. I will see you guys in the next one. So I shared with you my morning skincare routine. Now I'm sharing my nighttime skincare routine, brought to you by our friends over at Buttah. Over the last several weeks, we've partnered with Buttah and I've been utilizing their skincare routine and I have been loving it. So let me share with you my nighttime skincare routine. It's very simple and it's made even simpler by our friends over at Buttah. First, I start off with their cleanser. Wash your face with their cleanser. Then I use their silky soft towel, which I love. They're disposable. They are quality. You shouldn't be using the same towel that you use to dry your body on your face. And then I'm using their retinol. People don't understand the benefits of retinol. Smaller pores, youthful skin. A lot of people don't even utilize this. You should. All you need next is their Cocoa Shea Moisturizer. As I've said before, they've made my routine a lot simpler because I've had to use a different morning moisturizer versus what I use at night. With their Cocoa Shea Moisturizer, I can utilize it for my morning and my evening. I just put a little bit less on in the morning. At night, I put a little bit more. And that's it for my nighttime routine. One of the other big questions that people have asked me, is there a scent in the moisturizer? Very light scent. The other question people have asked me, is Buttah Black owned? Not only is it Black owned, their president is a Black woman. But of course, you also ask, can we get a discount? Of course, get 10% off when you use my link, buttahskin.com/Kempire. More information on Buttah will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah.